All right. Welcome to Liberty Unfiltered. We're going to talk about the election from yesterday, some surprises, some shocks, and we're also going to talk about the dumbing down of America and all the different things that are going on in this country. I personally cannot believe that some of the people that won this last night's election or are predicted to won. I don't know what the people are. I don't know what the people are voting with anymore. They must be voting with, I don't know. I'm not sure. But to vote on some of these people and their stances that are totally un-American, totally ridiculous, give the world away. Don't we have enough recession now? Don't we have enough problems? Don't we have enough crime? Let's just flip it all. Let's go ahead and do anarchy. Why don't we go ahead and do one of those? Why don't we go ahead and just have a purge next week too? Can we vote for that? It's insanity. Y'all, go ahead, talk. Tell me what you think. I think we're going to heck in a handbasket, personally.
I think a lot of the people who basically ran on like a theme, like we are culturally sensitive. We are all the politically correct things. Oh, yeah. And when that starts to happen, that is the breakdown of your society, really. But Rome lasted 200 years. So
we're getting close.
When you start to have a moral degradation and the
exactly
you leaving the roots that you started on, that's when you start to break down. And literally, you voted in a guy who needs a computer to decipher
correct
conversation coming in and out, and this is the guy you want to decide policy.
And by the way, his computer doesn't do a very excellent job from what I've seen of the debates.
No,
it may be technological abilities that aren't here yet. Maybe by the next election he'll be better.
Well, you could put that chip like Elon Musk has.
I think my biggest, and again, to me personally, it doesn't matter, what my belief is or what my party affiliation is, and I've voted cross-party before, but the biggest issue that I have with everything that's going on right now is the fact that it is the dumbing down of America. But the biggest part of it is, since when has anything good come out of you being told what you wanted to hear?
Mm-hmm.
Just tell me the damn truth.
Right.
Just be blatantly honest as to what the hell's going on, because you're going to go through worse to get to better.
Right. It's free for everybody. Everything's free now.
I had a boss that made a very clear point at one point in my life. He said, if you keep doing what you're doing, you'll keep getting what you're getting. Well, we're still doing the same shit that we're doing, and we're still pissed off and about what we're getting.
Yeah.
Then change it. God forbid, just change it. Just do something different. You voted in Trump, and everybody said, you know what? This guy's not a politician. This is the biggest mistake in American history. Oh my God! Well, and the world's going to come to an end. But guess what? The country's a business.
Mm-hmm.
It's here to make money.
Yeah.
And you bring a businessman in. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. He was culturally insensitive. All right. Well, no apologies for that. But guess what? Look what it did for the economy.
Yeah. Well, Rick, what people seem to remember is what happened last week. They don't remember anything. Well, they've been taught never to learn history.
Oh, God.
And what they remember now is, during Trump, we had the beginnings of COVID and we had the riots. Well, the riots were brought about by the Liberal Party, and they financed it. They actually paid to have people get out of jail. They had fundraisers to get people out of jail, pay bail for people that have burned, looted, taken other people's property. Because I'm offended with you, it does not give me a right to burn your car or take your stuff because I'm offended by you.
Well,
I don't care what you call someone. There's an old saying, sticks and stones may break your bones, but names will never hurt you.
But you know what? At the end of the day,
we've forgotten that.
At the end of the day, no matter what you've done, we can always we can take down your monument. We can take down your flag. We can go ahead and just rip those pages out of, hell, just burn the books, and we'll just make believe.
Absolutely.
We'll make believe that none of this has ever happened. And maybe 20 years from now, if we follow the same regimen and the routine of everything that's going on and that's been going on for the last 5+ years, then that's what we'll do. We'll just eliminate history,
right?
And we won't learn from our mistakes, and we'll repeat the same screwed up issues again, and we'll just continue to relive and be in that little warp of hell that we're in right now. And then, we'll be the idiots that the rest of the world makes us out to be.
Right.
That's what we'll become. And I guess if that's okay to continue to suck on the teat of getting a check in the mail every month, and not working and not contributing and being perfectly fine with shutting down oil lines and jobs and resources
back
and
to
farms and everything
a second ago,
okay.
I mean,
and that's what
the government has no money. Where do they get the money from? They have no money. They don't create a thing.
The last time
they don't create a thing except welfare.
The last time I
checked, the money comes from the working people here.
Yeah, that's correct.
What we need is for the silent majority to stop being damn silent and start standing up for themselves and change this country. We got to stop it. We all got to get together and figure out what we're going to do, or else you're not going to have a country anymore. It's going to get divided. It's going to get torn up. It's going to be thrown asunder. And the Stars and Stripes will no longer fly over the entire United States if this continues. It cannot go on.
The big problem is we're being divided along political, racial,
male, female
lines, and it's just being used to divide us. And it's a decisive move to make this all against each other. And when it's not, it doesn't really matter if it's Democrat or Republican. I'll tell you that right now, because they're two sides of the same coin.
All right, we're watching a tennis match.
Yeah, it's elites against people that everyday people.
Yeah, you're right. It's just like with the Republican contract for America this time. They didn't mention term limits. Wonder why. They didn't mention insider trading. I wonder why. Because they're all dirty. McConnell's just as dirty as Pelosi. They're all entrenched. They have made a career out of being our leaders rather than our representatives. George Washington was a leader in battle, but he was a representative when he got in politics. And he said, I've come to serve. I've not, and he didn't stay. He could have stayed and become a king for all that matter, but he left because he didn't want that. He didn't think that was appropriate. And that's what we have now. We got a tennis match. The Democrats say guns are bad. The Republicans say this is bad. Those ones say that's bad. This is bad. And nothing ever gets done. The last time the U.S. government did anything that worked worth the shit was we won the Second World War. Tell me what we've done since then. And did we really win that? Because if you look at Nagasaki and you look at Detroit, who really won that war?
Yeah.
I just
think you look at another side too. Is we're at this huge pivotal point, and we've been there for a while, but we're really there now. And the shift of trying to get as close to a 50-50 split in the government as we can. But
that way they ensure nothing gets done.
Right. But you're voting on, people are making decisions and choices and voting. You have to understand that you're not voting just for you and your family. What you're deciding on is for everybody.
Right. Except them.
Well, but
except them.
But if I sit there, I can choose to go and get all my information from Twitter, or I could choose to get all my information from wherever. It doesn't matter, whatever social media outlet or news outlet or whatever it is, or maybe the guy who lives next door to me, I can choose that source. But if I only choose that one source and that's all I believe, then I'm ignorant. I'm as ignorant as the source that I got it from. If you're not going to educate yourself on all facets of it, then you're not helping anybody. You're hindering everything, every decision that needs to get made to make this country back to as good as it can be. You're hindering it. So, maybe it's better that you didn't go out and vote. Maybe it's better that, you made a decision to sit at home and wait on that next free check to come in the mail. Maybe that was better for all of us if you didn't do that. But if you went out and you educated yourself and you voted not just with your heart, but with your mind, with an educated mind, then you're making an impact. And whether I agree with the impact you're making or not, but at least you're making a conscious, educated decision to try to change something instead of following the path of everybody around you. That's the biggest irritation that I have with the whole damn system.
People have not, you have very few people that honestly are up on this enough. when you watch the news, you can go to Newsmax and Fox, and they are pretty much saying the same thing. But what's funny to me is if you go to MSN, CBS, ABC, word for word, verbatim, they're giving the same exact soundbite. If you click and click and click and click while you're watching it, they will say the same exact sentence on everything. But anyway, anything else from you, Drew, today? And that way we'll cut this off, and we'll come back later in the week again.
We had 2 viewer questions really quick. It says here, the Russians said that the KGB's efforts to demoralize the U.S. was complete in the 60s. What's your opinion on that?
My opinion is no one was smart enough to actually listen to Yuri Bezmenov and when the warning he gave us. I'm not going to have a speech on that because you can look it up yourself if you care.
What was the name one more time for folks that want to look it up?
Yuri Bezmenov.
And, well, I'll ask a question of that viewer. Do you think the Russians are going to honor our timeout cards that the military gets now? I kind of wonder about that in boot camp. It's supposed to be about stress to get you ready for what might happen. So that would be my question back. I think we've got a bunch of people that are very soft. If the Second World War broke out right now, which would be the Third World War, we're going to lose.
Yeah.
All right. We have time for one more question. I am a 21-year-old male about to buy his first pistol. What would you suggest, and what are some good first steps to take?
Wow.
Well, the best thing is what fits your hand, and to tell us randomly what we need to know if you want it for bedside, for carry, for how you're going to use the firearm. If you can come into a reputable gun store, of which we're one, we will take all the time we need to fit you into the handgun that you may or may not need, so that you get where you for whatever need you have it for, whether it's bedside, in your car, on your side.
Get training.
And get training. The more training you can get, the better you can get. As Drew was saying, because when the boogeyman jumps out at you, you're going to do as bad as you ever have. So you might as well get as good as you can get. Anyway, I guess that'll wrap it up for us today. So thank you for watching. Have a good night.